Hey guys, Ranchin here and welcome to yet another League of Legends Challenger Tier commentary, this time on the European Western server. This is actually going to be a very interesting match, and we got some interesting players and some interesting champions in play. So let's go over this stuff, shall we? On the blue side, we have Niirayas playing Kayle. Seems like she's going to be actually going top lane. I'm kind of used to seeing them in the jungle these days, but this is fun too. Kobbe playing Jarvan IV. He's going to be jungling. Lucian being played by Jébus in the marksman position. FnaticYellOwStaR playing the Thresh as a support, and we have Betsy playing Yasuo, who's going to be going mid, it seems. On the opposite side, as the teams actually say hello to each other, we see that we have actually the Twisted Fate being played by M1L Ryu, and unfortunately this name is no longer applicable as Millennium has actually disbanded their League of Legends team after failing to qualify for the LCS. Ooh, a little bit of fighting here going on early, a little bit of damage from all sides. No gold card, unfortunately, there from Twisted Fate. There is going to be a binding hit on this Kayle, though, and she's going to get taken down. Yorick going to get the first blood. The fight is going to continue as now Thresh is being pushed back. There is a gold card coming this, a double kill for the Yorick. He's going to utilize that advantage to pretty well. That's going to be nice. He's just going to go be back, starting off with a flask and mana potions, actually, so he can spam his spells, and I was going to actually be able to do that even more. Yes, sorry, as I was mentioning, Twisted Fate, despite failing, worked out just fine as he didn't have his gold card in the first attack, but he turned out everything worked out better than expected. And yeah, as I was saying, Ryu is a player that I believe is currently looking for a team, but at the moment Millennium has actually disbanded the League of Legends team, so he's going to have to find a team somewhere else. Let's look at the rest of the team real quick. The guy getting the first couple of kills, Kazmitch playing Yorick. Look at that tier right out the bat, and that's going to be pretty bad for his opponent because he's just going to be able to spam. Kha-Zix bAAS playing the Morgana, who landed that sick binding early. Trashyyy playing the Kha-Zix. And we see Zvenillan playing the AD carry Graves. Zvenillan is actually being picked up by a team, I believe, right now. Also known as XD Niels, I believe. So he's gonna. I heard news that he was picked up by an LCS team, or a team actually going to with the Challenger Series, trying to get into the LCS. I don't remember which team that is at the moment, but oh well, it's okay. Well, a little bit of harassment going on from both sides here. People just binding, barely missing there by Morgana. That's still actually harassing pretty heavily. Getting a Thresh down pretty well. They're not going to be able to kill him because he's fairly tanky. And it's going to be interesting to see Yasuo against the Twisted Fate, because Twisted Fate is really safe. Actually going for pick a card and stacked deck early, maybe just for the last hitting. Usually you see wild cards being picked up very early and that being used as a harassment tool. Yorick has to be a little bit careful as Kayle does have a really powerful harassing tool in Registry. Actually got Divine Blessing early, probably just to try to survive that early engagement on her. But Yorick already using his potions just so he can keep harassing his omens, and Omen of Pestilence, Omen of Famine, and Omen of War, all really powerful. Kayle, however, making sure not to let up, keeping on the pressure. Seems like Morgana and Kha-Zix here in agreement. Let's go kill this. Yasuo is pushing up very heavily. There is a gold card locked in. Nice placement. There is going to be a wild cards. Just waiting on that. Yasuo sees this is coming. Blinding. Gonna flash for it. Gonna be fine. There's gonna be a flash for the gold card, and then he runs away. Gets ignited. I think he might still be okay though. There is a response from Kayle. Comes down. Kha-Zix gonna flash for it to try to take the kill. Yasuo gonna turn around though, however, and just gonna still get taken down, unfortunately, but now we're going to see whether Kha-Zix actually manages to keep turns on and slows this, and all this is happening. Jarvan also gets into the mix and actually makes sure to take down Twisted Fate, so that was an even, almost an even trade there. Actually, 2 kills for the blue side and only 1 kill for the other side. Pretty amount of stuff going on there. Bottom lane, now we see that Morgana has gone and done her ganking duty. She's gone top, has all of her spells, so Graves should be fairly safe at this point. That's one of the things Morgana just makes bottom lane so very safe, and that's going to be really interesting. I like the fact that Lucian has actually been nerfed recently. Lucian is kind of now in the not overpowered, not too ridiculous, and more like I know how to play Lucian. The people that know how to play Lucian know how to take advantage of his kit, how to utilize his light slinger well, are the players that are gonna be able to play him well, because he now only has light slinger for 2 seconds instead of 6, so you really have to take advantage of that in order to be able to spam his spells and to be able to really put on the harass on the burst. Jarvan gonna come here, actually deward for the opposite side. Let's see if that managed to happen. I think there's gonna be more harassing. Kha-Zix is in position. There's gonna be a gold card locked in. No, but there's gonna be a chilling smite. No gold card needed as Kha-Zix grabs a kill top lane. We see now the Yorick actually pushing very hard with the mana mute, with the Tear of the Goddess. He's actually has a constant amount of mana, so he just spams all of his spells, gets all of his stuff out there. Maxing Omen of Famine first, as it does heal him for the damage it deals. So actually a very powerful ability. Seems like Kha-Zix is really running around the entire map trying to get a bunch of damage and now going bot lane. And seems like TF, nope, he's actually going to be, I thought maybe he had his level 6 now. Kha-Zix seems to be incoming. They don't see this coming at all. He's just going to jump on Thresh. Is going to get binding. No binding yet from Morgana. Actually, she didn't have it. Seems like she used it a little bit earlier. I might have missed it. Sorry about that, guys. If TF had a level 6 and joined in the fight, that would have been an easy kill. Top lane, see that the Yorick is just being pushed all the way to the tower. That's just the thing. These two champions can push both so hard. Kayle can push with a Righteous Fury. Yorick can push just by pushing all the buttons, pretty much. And of course, he also reduces some damage on himself as he just uses all of his summons. They can be just so annoying, constantly harassing his opponents. And they actually are overall really powerful tool. And the fact that he has his tier, yeah, he's spent all his mana potions, all his crystalline flasks, but he can still stay in the lane until he pretty much has his Muramana. And at that point, he's just going to come back and continue casting. Let's see how much he actually already has. 156 bonus mana, and it also, of course, increases his base regen, so it's a really powerful item. I believe I forgot to do this at an earlier stage. I apologize for that. Let's fix this right now. There we go. Kayle had a significant CS advantage, though. That's just the thing. He can't really go in close and CS, or else, because if he does, he's just going to be in danger. Mid lane, we see that TF has a bit of an advantage, not too much. That's understandable in that he does have the range. Bot lane, it's fairly even, even though, you know, just 5 CS advantages aren't so much that they actually become ridiculous. And you see that TF, he can just farm so safe if he just gets his wild cards off the right side, because they do deal the same amount of damage through, despite whatever it is that they fly through. So they're just a perfect skill. He does have level 6 now, and he seems like he's going to want to use Destiny. Has used it, is going top here. Kayle gonna flash for it, but there's still going to be a gold call. She's used intervention, makes her vulnerable. Is there going to be any damage? There's not a lot of mana on Yorick here. Doesn't seem to be enough. Wild cards also hit, but it doesn't have a lot of AP, so it doesn't do a lot of damage. Here, only 46 bonus damage from his AP. So overall, not too bad. Graves being left alone bottom. That's just one of the strengths of Graves. He does have his burst, so he can actually force people back, and his he has this quick draw, so he can get into safety, and he also has his passive, which means that the more he's auto attacking, the more fighting is going on, the safer he is. And Morgana also doing a great job of just keeping him safe. Yorick actually being shut down fairly well, despite the great start he had, getting the double kill, and that's kind of the reason he's not too far behind the kill, despite the last hit differential. So he's actually getting himself total biscuits and Muramana. Now just going to TP back to lane, as it is being pushed to his tower. And at this point, he just has to continue farming. Seems like Kayle's also going to be back. And Kha-Zix has actually done a pretty good job so far, I must say. He's not been farming that much, but he's done a decent job actually trying to be across all over the map, trying to gank everywhere, and has had a few successful and some less successful ganks, but he's still putting on a lot of pressure. The enemy team knows, hey, Kha-Zix is around, he's being annoying, he's strong, so we have to be careful against him. He was saying something and I just decided to ignore him. Sorry, Kha-Zix. I'm not mean. Oof! Actually going to hit the binding there a little bit far. Not going to be too much harassment. It's going to be the hook on the Morgana. She's going a little bit too far. Going to hit yet another binding. That's not going to be enough. Going to take a lot of that culling in the face. Oof! It's a heavy amount of damage. She's going to be forced to use that last biscuit of hers. But overall, bottom lane, we see at this point Graves has actually taken a decent CS advantage. He's also gone back. He has a BF sword while his opponent actually has a pickaxe, so a little bit better timing on his part. Let's see here, top lane, Yorick finally putting on the harass on Kayle, forcing her to attack. Of course, the problem is that for every one of his creeps she kills, she actually gets a little bit of gold, and that's 5 gold, which means that, you know, 4 creeps or four of his minions are actually somewhere between a range creep and a melee creep, which is pretty bad to give that to his opponent, as long as they actually manage to take advantage of that, as you see Kayle is doing, making sure to kill almost all of his minions, because she can. No Destiny up yet in TF. He's actually going to try to take out this ping, getting his yellow card ready to turn around. Kha-Zix in position as well. Gonna gold card, so much damage on the Jarvan. Yasuo going to come in here as well. TF going to barely survive. Nope, he actually going to die to the ignite. Forced himself to flash over that, but took so much damage in response. Unfortunate there. Jarvan had good timing. He actually made sure that Yasuo wasn't in too much trouble, but at the same time, got himself killed. So the Yasuo and Kha-Zix is going to chill out here for a little bit, make sure this push in too hard. Let's see, at this point, Yorick's still very far behind on his last hits. It is difficult for him to play up against the Kayle because Kayle can just harass him at any point during laning phase. Bot lane seems to be some aggressive action. Oof, Flay, nice black shield there from Morgana. She actually completely prevents the Flay from happening. Destiny being locked in. He's actually going to come in mid on this Yasuo. Where's the gold card? He goes to himself just to get it. Gonna try to go for it. Nice block there from Yasuo. He actually gets a wall of wind. He actually gets a wind wall off just before he gets stunned. So the wild cards completely miss him. So safe. Just doing a great job there, keeping himself safe. Gonna be an engagement in bot lane. Shackle's coming out. Culling, however, in response, and Jarvan there just at the right time. Is it gonna be enough? However, he's already used his chilling smite. Seems like Graves is actually gonna escape with his life just fine. Do see that both junglers actually using the Stalker's Blade, so they both have chilling smites. Do see a warrior upgrade on it. On the Kha-Zix's side, should be seeing exact same thing. Yes, indeed. And Jarvan, just really fun to see these specific guys using that. Yasuo utilizing his shield as well. Gonna go on TF here really hard. Gonna hit it. Didn't. Oh man, did not use his ultimate. Actually got stunned before he could use it, it seems. Or else quite possibly and quite probably would have been a dead TF. Are they gonna respond? Kha-Zix yet again coming in here. He's gonna use his ultimate this time. They're gonna catch him under the tower. TF gonna run away. That's gonna be an easy kill for Kha-Zix. Take care of that. Didn't see the Kha-Zix coming in until way too late. He was already going in there. TF doing a great job of staying in a slightly unsafe position, trying to bait that Yasuo out and getting that bait out completely. So he's just gonna go back off. Has his Morel and Omicron. Probably gonna go get his sorcerer shoes. Top one, we see Yorick fighting this Kayle, who actually already has a Gnasher's Tooth, so the amount of damage she can do is quite ridiculous. He doesn't really have anything except for his mana. It seems like he's working on his Triforce stuff, and of course he can ulti himself, but you know, it doesn't mean that he actually survives death. It just means that he can survive it a little bit longer. Kha-Zix coming in here as well. Kayle, she does have it. She doesn't actually have intervention. This is probably gonna be a kill. Yes, it is, as Kha-Zix just utilizes his void spike there to get that kill. Oof, unfortunate for her there. Seems like people are pinging all over the place. Bot lane might be seeing engagement. Binding gonna come out on this Thresh of this Morgana, trying to do some dewarding. Actually gonna get hooked herself and flayed. A little bit of a bad position. Oh, never mind. She actually gets away just fine. Thought it would be a little bad. At this point, Grace almost. Ooh, Culling this time misses completely. Last time he Culling her, that was a significant amount of damage. So I'm gonna take a small sip of something as I drop something on my keyboard. Sorry about that, guys. My drink sometimes sticks to my coaster. Stupid condensation. So it seems like he's gonna go for a gold card. No, actually gets wind wall down. It lasts for this long. I think it used to actually last for longer. Or was it? No, it was actually the picking part that used to last longer. Just uses wild cards and of course uses blue cards just to get a little bit of mana back. Seems like everybody pinging middle. Everybody wants TF. Look at that wild card damage. It just flies for everything so much clearer. Kayle in the enemy's jungle. Kha-Zix gonna see her. Hello, let's fight it out. She does have her intervention this thing. Gonna turn around. Kha-Zix gonna take a little bit of damage in the face. She's trying to kill a little bit of this stuff. He also coming in to support. TF also in position here. Does have his destiny in case they need it. Yorick, just gonna stay top and just gonna push as hard as he can. Yeah, Kha-Zix trying to prevent her from taking down his Razor Beak, but actually not willing to smite it. Wants to keep his chilling smite for a possible engagement. Top lane seems like Graves was thinking of going bottom, but he's just going to keep on pushing. Trying to get his last hits going. Pushing it to the tower as bottom lane finally sees some action. But they're actually quite safe, it seems. I didn't see a ward, but there was probably pings coming out as the Jarvan considering this gank, but not going to happen. Graves has a Rice Blade alongside BF Sword and a Pickaxe, so he does a decent amount of damage. Also gets that extra gold on the opposite side. Lucian still just BF Sword and Pickaxe. Top lane seems to be another engagement. You're gonna go for it, gonna slow this Kayle, do as much as he can. She's gonna speed herself up. I think Kha-Zix is way out of position. He can't engage too hard, trying to bait this Kayle to continue the fight. She forces herself to intervention. He's still staying on her. So much damage coming out. His creeps are not gonna do enough as all this is happening mid lane. Yasuo actually gets a solo kill on the Twisted Fate. Seems like he probably went out just a little bit too far, a little bit too quick. And of course, Yasuo, if he catches you off guard, he can do a lot of damage. Static Shiv also makes him extremely powerful as his Steel Tempest comes off cooldown really fast. Bot lane, there just seems to be a sort of a farm fest. Graves still kind of at an advantage. People just kind of chilling around, not too much damage. Again, Thresh is a bunch of Elastis as well, and that's no surprise as he does have the Targon's Embrace, so giving himself and his team a little bit of extra gold every time he actually takes down a creep top lane. I'm wondering whether Yorick actually takes this down. She's continuing to just focus this down with his creeps. Yep, that's going to be a first tower for red team as they take down the top tower. Last hit-wise, Yasuo has actually, despite quite a few deaths, he actually has about 20 last hits over Twisted Fate. And speaking of stuff happening, we see a ganks in 2 locations. Top lane gonna see Yorick gonna go on this, be taken on by this guy. Actually gonna force the flash with a chilling smite, but that's not gonna be enough. Meanwhile, we see here that Yasuo's being ganked as well from all sides, putting up wind walls, trying to survive as long as you can. Still no gold card, not even necessary at that point. Kayle gonna continue fighting. There's gonna be a Destiny coming up, a TP from support as well. Jarvan gonna try to come in and prevent this from happening. Actually gonna go in and kill this TF, but that's not gonna be enough. He's actually gonna be destroyed by the Yorick. Kha-Zix was coming in to help as well in case it was needed. That was a 2-for-1 trade. Well, Yasuo actually died mid as well, just a couple of seconds ago before that. Crazy stuff happening. I do actually believe that Kayle was maybe trying to TP bottom, and it doesn't seem like it. Thought I saw a TP about to happen, and then it didn't. So that's always odd. Excuse me. So at this point, I want to say that Kayle definitely has a farm advantage over Yorick. Graves has gonna almost take a calling in the face, but not quite. We do see a bit of a more farm advantage on the red side, the blue side, I'm sorry, although the red side does have overall more gold and a tower. It's going to be interesting to see who actually takes the first Drake. Seems like at this point these guys actually want to go and take these double Krugs. Morgana is just going to utilize this opportunity to just deward, and we do see the pings coming on. Jarvan is running around dewarding now, taking out pinks, taking out wards, killing this guy. Morgana and Yorick are in position though here. There's gonna be an instant engagement as Yasuo goes in on that Yorick. It's gonna be black shielded though. Continue to find intervention. The Yasuo is actually gonna stay alive quite longer. TF not managed to get his gold card off. FnaticYellOwStaR actually managed to kill the Graves, and the Twisted Fate also gets taken down by the Jarvan. We see the continued chasing going to double kill on the Jarvan. He actually takes down the Yorick as well. Yorick going to utilize his ultimate, but not going to be in time to actually respond at all. This is going to be 2 kills for the blue side. And red team just not managed to do anything. Nobody seems to really have been in position there to accomplish much. Lucian and Thresh going to go and try to attempt to take down this tower, and I think they're going to be successful in that. Kayle, meanwhile, with the help of the rest of the team, actually going to take out the middle tower, so it's going to be 2 towers for blue team. They're getting themselves back into it. Almost caught up in kills and definitely now overtaking the opposite team. They're going to take this easy dragon. I don't think Morgana and Kha-Zix are going to be able to do this. They should see this coming. There is no ward in here, but they should know this is happening. Then I get told about it right here as they easily just, wow, those 2 kills. Great play from Jarvan chasing down the correct targets. Just allow him to take down 2 wards, the mid ward and the bot ward, as well as Dragon. You can just see how one engagement and smart follow-up, that's the important thing. It's not just the fact that they won the fight, it's that they followed up smartly. They took objectives, they took 2 towers and a dragon, actually had the presence of mind to go, we should actually be able to take a dragon. They don't have it warded, we're fine, let's go for this. Now TF is going to take the middle tower in response, seem to have been hurt quite a bit. Oof, Kayle not even thinking about it, they're flashing right away. Destiny a little off there. There's going to be a gold card, she's going to intervention herself just to be safe. But not much else going to happen here. Seems like everybody's just kind of grouping top at this point. Not sure if they can do anything about that here. Kayle gonna take her blue buff, gonna attempt to take that anyway. And Thresh just in position to make sure that she stays safe. Morgana might get caught. She's gonna spell shield herself. Gold card gonna come out from the opposite side, also binding. A lot of CC on the Jarvan. He's gonna get taken down. Meanwhile, as all this is happening, Yasuo should go in bot lane, killing the Graves. Now a culling coming off as well, trying to force this red team off. Gonna be a chilling smite on this Thresh here. Is it gonna be enough? Are they gonna be able to chase this down or not? Bunch of CS coming down. Actually, yes. Kha-Zix actually get taken down. Nice hook there on the TF by the Thresh. Is it going to be enough? Doesn't seem like Lucian wants to continue fighting, and he was getting real at that point. Nice lantern as well alongside that hook. So that particular engage was actually for blue side. For red side, I meant to say, while bot lane we saw Yasuo actually just pushing and killing the Graves all by his lonesome. Because he can. Can do a significant amount of split pushing and killing single targets all by himself, because that's Yasuo for you. Okay, it seems like Yorick actually went for his Spirit Visage alongside Manamune. Still does have his level 2 boots. That's actually not too uncommon to see a couple of big items before level 2 boots. But he can pretty much just spam a whole of his stuff in fights and try to auto-attack somebody. I'm not quite even sure if he's going to go for any sort of more assault items. I do see Yorick's going for a Trinity Force sometimes. But, you know, you sometimes just want to stay at range. You do want to auto-attack people. He does have a fairly decent base attack damage, especially with his Manamune. But all of his stuff does so much damage too. Like Omen of War and Omen of Famine do a significant amount of damage. Omen of War is still only level 1, but look at that AD. Yeah. See, Yorick's next attack will do a bunch of extra damage. He just wants to stay in the middle of it all, summon ghouls, and just try to hit people in the face. And also utilize his ultimate when needed. Okay, since Kayle seems to be a little bit split off at this point, but I'm not sure if she's actually going to get punished for it. She's going to meet this Yorick head-on by herself. Just going to do a little bit of attacking on him. Yorick has a significantly larger health pool than she does, though. There's going to be a Destiny. She's going to W. Is this going to be enough? There's fighting going on all the places on the map. As the TF and the Yorick actually want to consider engaging on this, they're going to manage to slow yet another gold card, wild cards, and stacked deck. Just overall continue using the fight. Now Kha-Zix actually joining into the action just to make sure that this Kayle actually dies. She doesn't have an intervention more. Forced to actually flash for it, but they're going to take it. Actually lost a team member. Blue team actually lost Thresh as this was all happening. Also died on another side of the map. Seems like Morgana going to engage this Yasuo by herself. Binding, do a bunch of damage. She has maxed her binding first. Going to continue fighting, and with the tower, no more minions. Morgana gets a solo kill on a Yasuo. Oh boy, now we're going to see the Jarvan just Cataclysm straight up. Nice culling to follow up. No zone for Graves to get out there. Maybe he didn't have his quick draw, else he might have been able to quick draw away. And nice kill there for Lucian. This game overall, I gotta say, is still pretty even Steven. Gold differential, only 1,000. A few more kills on red side, a couple more towers on blue side, and they do have the dragon advantage. So blue side, despite the goal, you know, there is very little gold disparity, but they are a little bit ahead. Have taken down a few more objectives, so they have a little bit more pressure on the map. Providing that they ward properly, providing that they actually play this game properly, they're going to be able to control the fights a little bit better if they do. See, Kha-Zix here has a Hex Drinker alongside Stalker's Blade with a Warrior Upgrade and the Brutalizer, so he does a significant amount of damage. We see that TF has Morgana going for Zonias now. It's probably ways being in order to get that. Morgana also working on his Zonias, not quite there yet. Yorick now getting a Glacial Shroud. This does not surprise me that he's just going to try to utilize Frozen Heart to get his cooldown reduction higher. And just going to stay tanky. Spirit Visage does give him a decent amount of magic resist. Now it's just going to work on his armor. So he gets his stats up. Enemy team kills the one that does the magic damage. Now actually Yasuo going to engage on him. Going to go in full down. Does a lot of damage. Igniting him, forcing the Yorick to flash away. But on the opposite side, there is no safety as Jarvan IV hits you in the face. And at this point, yeah, blue side actually using that pretty well. Trying to force engagements at good sides. Now the TF is going to gold card. Doesn't hit it at all. And now going to be forced to run away in Zonias as Yasuo fights the Kha-Zix. Does so much damage. Flash coming out. TP to support from Kayle. This Yasuo, there's going to be an intervention on him right away. He's just going to continue fighting. Seems like he actually stopped there for a second. Not exactly sure why. Maybe it was expecting that he would die. Jarvan coming at the right time to actually finish off this TF. So a bunch of deaths. Bunch of kills here for blue team, and despite the fact that Yasuo dies, they're still going to continue on. Seems like Kayle actually wants to continue fighting. If I remember my lore correctly, then Kayle and Morgana are actually sisters. Just one of them is a fallen angel, the other one is not. So that's that. Yet another turret being taken up by blue team. They just continue controlling the map, take down yet another turret here, and just continue putting on pressure. I won't say that they won this, definitely not, despite the dragon advantage, which they're actually going to increase. Seriously, no wards. Okay, there is a ward here that probably saw the team doing this, but the Destiny is going to come out. No way, Jose. Is TF actually going to go for it? Don't think he is. Just utilize Destiny, it seems, there to give his team vision. It's not on cooldown though, so that's actually a lot of mana for a glorified clairvoyance, but such is life. Well, mid lane, we're going to be seeing a big engage. Red team significantly outnumbers their enemies. Are they going to be able to go all the way here? Actually, we see that the Yorick has actually used his ultimate. Continue fighting. Almost hitting the binding on Thresh. Yasuo on a journey to fight from the opposite side. despite the fact that Jarvan is really low. Everybody on the red side is actually really low. They see that this guy's going to continue. Graves going to take it down fairly easily. Might actually get the Yorick. Does use his blue trinket, but going to decide to not chase all the way. Morgana almost gets hit. Actually flashes there as she knew that Yasuo will be able to utilize Sweeping Blade to go through the minions and go straight on her. TF actually gets caught as he seemed to have been running around the map a little bit. And the blue team gets yet another kill. That's one of the things you really don't want to continue happening. Actually, red team is bad enough that they're kind of been losing the engagements a little bit here, not putting in very smart engagements, but they're actually dying to picks. They're actually being picked off like that, always giving the other opposite team a few more picks. And just we've seen what the blue team can actually do with a few picks. 1 or 2 picks on the blue for the blue side, and they just take objectives. They're already taking a bunch of towers. They've taken 2 dragons. Red team really needs to get their stuff together. They need a good, big, clean fight. Push down a couple of towers because they've only taken 2 so far. They really haven't been doing a lot of pushing, and I'm surprised by that. Graves also seems he hasn't really been a big factor in fights. Well, Lucian has just been all over the place. Every single fight there is, he just goes, he fights, and the 4 kills he has compared to Graves' 0 actually shows for that. He actually has more items than Graves at this point just because he's been such a factor in fights. His cullings have been spot on. He's just been chasing people down, pushing out the damage, and just been playing really well. Morgana gonna get caught a little bit there. Actually gets her black shield off before anything can happen. Graves only level 12 alongside his Morgana. He has to be a little bit more careful, actually taking a bunch of damage from this Kayle. It's going to be interesting to see whether the fights continue here. Graves already taking a little bit of damage. Actually going to be an ult popped from Oof! Despite the fact Destiny is here, there's going to be spill immunity. kAAs is going to go in on this Lucian there, but it seems like blue team's just going to easily disengage. Ghost coming off from Twisted Fate as he tries to gold card someone. He's going to get turned around. I'm going to be forced to pop his Zonias. I don't think he's going to be fine at all. Instantly gets swallowed up. And Thresh gets the kill. Beautiful box from him there. Chunks might come off from the Morgana as Yasuo actually continues to engage. More damage being done. Lucian getting a bunch of burst down on people on all sides. They're going to get 3 kills. This is going to be an inhibitor for the blue team. This is exactly what I've been talking about. Red team just not engaging well, and blue team doing, I gotta say, it's of course in part because blue team just doing a great job of disengaging and re-engaging. They just make sure that the opposite team, the red side, can't fully commit. Then they turn it around slowly but surely and commit as soon as they see an opportunity to do so really well. And now it's just gonna run back out and, you know, live to fight another day. So let's look at my own builds a little bit here. I just want to see what's happening. Kayle has Runan's Hurricane alongside her Masher's Tooth. As we see, the Yasuo is actually catching people here. Gonna get taken down for that, being a little bit cocky, but killing the Graves, right? Let's see, work on Lucian Large Rod as well, so it seems like he's gonna go for Rabadon's. Runan's Hurricane is actually a really fun build on Kayle. She just does a bunch of damage to everything that exists. I mean, it does scale off AD and not AP, but it's still a really fun item for her, as it does do a bunch of damage, and also, of course, applies on hit effects, which is, you know, fun. If you're into that sort of thing, I guess. So, let's see here. Jarvan IV has a Randuin's Omen, which is no surprise as the only real... Okay, Morgana and TF kind of bring out that magic damage, but TF's magic damage you can sort of dodge. If you don't get hit by wildcards, you're kind of fine, right? Morgana does bring out a decent amount, but she doesn't even have a Zonias yet. She has very little AP, so she's a lot more support than damage for the opposite team's Randuin's Omen. Great for slowing down the enemies. Decent tanky choice. Lucian just working on all of his items, working as Bloodthirst at this point. Thresh has a Face of the Mountain. Seems like he might also be working on his Rangers. Actually going to get the hook on this Morgana. She's going to use the Black Shield on her. That's just... Lucian didn't even manage to get his culling into that and just instantly get gibbed. Morgana, this is just what I'm talking about. Everybody always gets caught and blue team takes advantage of it. Now we also... see the TF getting caught there as well, and that's just the unfortunate truth, is that red team just keeps allowing this to happen. At this point, I think they're just going to push it in even harder. I don't think they're going to bother with Baron. I don't think they're going to bother doing anything else other than just pushing this in mid, because they just want to take advantage. They see the picks, they take the picks, and they push. They have a super minion here for this. Part of the blue team is actually going to go around here, tank this tower, and try to take on this inhibitor to make sure that this push just continues. This is also smart, as the enemy team is going to have a few people up, so that's going to be 2 inhibitors down. That's going to get even more super minions. Seems like they're actually going to get ready themselves for Baron. Is up in 25 minutes. And I can't exactly say what red team. Red team just needs a big fight, but at this point they're slowly falling apart, it seems. Nobody can really do enough to win the fight for him. Kha-Zix working on some more tanky items, has a blood cleaver, black cleaver as well. He just needs to be able to go in there, kill this Lucian, because Lucian is also big trouble in fights. Of course, they also have Kayle and Jarvan just bringing a bunch of utility and CC to fights. Yasuo, we all know what Yasuo is like when he's annoying, and look at that. Static shit, Bloodthirster, Eye Edge, everything. Never mind what I was thinking, as the red team decides to just take this opportunity to surrender, seeing their opportunities being very slim, deciding that, you know, we'll fight another day. But I thought that was actually a very interesting game, guys. Fairly back and forth for quite a while until sort of the last 10 minutes of the game. Blue team really started controlling the map and just taking full control of what was happening. A lot of picks happening for them, and they just took advantage of them. Smart play, you know, especially at that mid-game point where they actually picked off 2 members of red team, took down 2 towers and a dragon. Fine, they lost mid tower for it, but it was going to go down anyway at some point. So they just took a huge lead with that and just continued rolling it up. A lot of good play from Lucian, from Yasuo, getting a bunch of picks off the map while other fights were happening and pushing. Thresh seemed to be on target. Jarvan also always playing really aggressive, going straight in for the correct targets, the squishies, making sure they can't get all their stuff off, and just forcing the enemy team, the opposite side, the red side, to always be a little fumbly and not in very good position. So really well played by the blue side. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like, subscribe to my channel, maybe comment below in the video. Check out some of my other videos. I do a bunch of these commentaries, try to bring them to you guys every single day. So, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Please, you know, stick around. GG, Ranching Out. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And we're going to see him be very soon as well. I do believe. Bot lane, even Steven for the most part so far, nothing too heavy. John has healed.